Afternoon, everybody. This is Anthony from Amped Airsoft, and I got my battle buddy,
Biggs.
And today we were going to do a Pleb to Pro, as well as an overview of our brand new product that we released, the Polarstar version of the IGL. So, Biggs, we had another version of the IGL that was for the Wolverine SMP, correct?
Correct.
And due to overwhelming requests from you guys to make this happen, we now have a Polarstar Fusion Engine specific version, like specifically for the Fusion Engine. Explain the difference between the two.
The big difference visually is that our sheathing or protective cover only goes about halfway up the Polarstar version, and that's because it's a little bit more restrictive on the inside of the Fusion Engine. It needed more flexible area on the line, as well as it has a completely different fitting that uses Teflon tape on it rather than an O-ring. So if you uninstall this and reinstall it, you will have to
You're gonna have to retape it.
So
what is for all the uninitiated out there or guys who don't own SMPs as well? What does the IGL do for the Fusion Engine? Like, why is this important? Why is this a valuable upgrade?
because it completely removes the need for macro line.
Let's hold up a Fusion Engine real quick. So it replaces all of the macro line that's built into the Fusion Engine, correct?
Correct.
Now, is there any fitment issues or anything anybody needs to worry about with this product?
If you have a Gen 2 or a Gen 3 Fusion Engine, you should run into no issue. However, Gen 1, the hole where the macro line comes out of, is too small for the fitting to go through. So if you want to run a Polarstar IGL in a Gen 1, you will need to drill it out with a 3/8 drill bit, or a little bit bigger. If you use a 3/8, you might need to wobble it a little bit to widen the hole because it's right about the size of the
We are not responsible for you vaporizing your lower frames if you make a mistake while you're trying to do this.
If you decide to do that,
that's all on you.
I suggest clamping down the lower part of your Fusion Engine after you remove all the other expensive stuff, so it's just the metal piece. Clamp it down, because if it breaks loose of your grip, it's going to spin around and
break fingers,
bend right about here, and then you're going to run into a bunch of alignment issues.
Oh, tons. So,
but that's only for Gen 1s.
Only for Gen 1. So Gen 2s and Gen 3s, you guys are good to go. Biggs has my Gen 2 in his hand. I have a Gen 3. So right now, as of right now, we're only going to claim that this works proficiently with a V2. Chances are it will work for a V3 as well. Stay tuned. We'll probably give you guys an update about that.
The fitting's the same. It's just
all the fittings and everything. It's a matter of how long the line is. We might have to adjust the length of it a little bit. Also the same for M249s, M60 boxes, stuff like that. Like the fitting and everything will work. The line itself will work, but we might make a different version of it for different lengths, so that you guys don't have because if we look at the prototype one, this was the prototype one that we had, and as you can see, we did some adjustments already because it is a solid 2 inches and some change longer than the finished product, which is this guy right here.
Right.
So.
And that unsheathed portion is just for the interior of the Fusion Engine. So.
Yeah, this is what's going to be inside your Fusion Engine. Anything from this heat shrink down is what's going to be hanging out of your Fusion Engine and your body. So this will be in your pistol grip.
And if you notice, that's about the same length of our AGLs. So it'll function just like an AGL out of your pistol grip.
But no macro line, no leaks, no crimps, no
cutting of the macro line in the fitting as it spins.
Nope. It's all going to erase all those problems. No more issues. Finally. All right.
It does not kink.
And it doesn't kink. Yeah, that's a good part. All right, guys. So as part of this video, what we're going to do is we're going to take my Gen 2 Fusion Engine right here, this bad boy, and we are going to install one of our production level IGLs for the Polarstar into it. It's basically also going to serve as a takedown video for a Fusion engine, so if you guys need to see that, you guys don't know how to do it, it's a good place to look and a good place to watch. So get ready, because you're going to watch me tear my stuff up. Alright guys, so here we are. We are on the mat. Time to start doing some work. The tools you're going to need a 5/32 Allen key. You're going to need an interchangeable bit system screwdriver, like this awesome one from Pittsburgh Pro, hometown reppin'. You can get kits like that from like Harbor Freight and stuff like that. Bits you're going to need for it, you're going to need I forget what size this is, but it's a torque bit or an Allen key bit, Phillips and flathead screwdriver. Then you're also going to need this wrench right here. This wrench comes with the IGL. It's a special wrench designed to help you tighten the fitting in your Fusion engine. It also comes with all the Wolverine IGLs as well. It's the same wrench. So if you have an IGL on a Wolverine or anything like that, if you want to install one on your Fusion engine, you can use the same wrench, and you're going to get a bonus one. So you'll have two. Yay. And if you sell it, make sure you give the person you're selling it to one, because don't be that guy and leave them without a tool. So what we're going to do is basically we're going to take apart the Fusion engine. We're going to install, and then you guys are going to get to see what's going on. So some of this will be in speed up mode so that it can save for time, but we're going to take it apart. I'll point out some key things along the way. So, Allen keys on the bottom, you have one here. You have one on the back of your Fusion engine right here. Those are going to need to come out. And then on the back side, this guy right here in the corner. And now your Fusion engine will come apart. You'll have your lower frame right here, where all your trigger board, trigger, wire harness, and this is also where your solenoids attach right here. You don't have to unplug your solenoid wires if you don't want to for installation, but if you're worried about breaking your solenoid wires because they are fragile, I would suggest it. I'm probably not going to do it.
And if you do remove them, it is a good idea to mark one of them with a Sharpie, because they're both identical.
They are identical, and if you mix and match them, your Fusion engine will not function. So then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use a flathead screwdriver to undo these air fittings right here and right here. So just one a little further back. And the only reason you're taking these off is just to make it easier to get to the actual fitting. So this guy right here, this is the fitting you're going to need to remove right here. And then it has a press fit fitting with a piece of macro line, which is what comes in your Fusion engine. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn the little piece of plastic on the fitting to make sure that it's turned in such a way that you can get to it. So I might need to move in front of the shot here real quick, but you're going to need to push down and then pull. So what you're going to do is you're going to push down on this piece of plastic that's attached to the fitting, and then with your other hand pull the macro line out and then get it out of the way. Now you're done with this. You'll never need to see this again. You'll never need to deal with it. So goodbye. Now, the thing about removing this fitting, the big deal with this fitting is that from the outside it doesn't look like there's anything that you can do to get this off. You can remove it. Don't be ignorant and use a pair of pliers or something like that, because you'll damage the fitting and you might need it for some other application later. So what it has inside of it that most people aren't going to know is that it has a 5/32 Allen key on the inside of the fitting. So that's what we're going to use down inside here to loosen this up. So boom. It's not under a whole lot of pressure or anything. It's not super tight.
Yeah, because it has a gasket in there, so it doesn't need to be really
so
tight.
it doesn't need to be, it only needed to be hand tight. So the only problem is it's a little finicky to unscrew, but all right, so here comes the fitting. It also has a plastic gasket right here. So there's those. We're done with these as well. Boop, boop. Never going to see those again. Now, here's the thing that I'm going to go with Pepto Pink, by the way. What we were making note of before, if you have a Gen 1 Fusion engine, this hole on the bottom of your frame is going to be too small to fit the IGL through. Gen 2s and Gen 3s, no issue. So just be aware of that. When you go to install this, what you're going to need to do is make sure that your wiring is on the correct side. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your wiring underneath, and then this is going to go between these two air hoses right here, and then you're going to install it. It already comes with thread tape on it to make sure that there's a perfect air seal, and then this is where this little wrench is going to come into hand. So this wrench is designed to fit around that fitting, and you're going to have to wrench and then hand tighten that on there. This is probably another point where we're going to go into the speed mode because it's going to take me a while to do it.
And make sure you seat that wrench on there nice and tight, or nice and flush, because it's brass, so it's a really soft metal, and you can mar it up really easy.
Yeah, if you're not careful, you'll round out the bolt. Alright guys, so after what seemed like a millennia of me tightening this down,
Quarter turn at a time.
Quarter turn at a time, it's a little rough, I know, we're good to go. Don't lose this wrench. If you ever want to uninstall it or change to a different color or anything like that, you need this wrench. Don't lose it. But that's yours now forever. Comes with it for free. You don't have to pay anything for it. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put the Fusion engine back together. Basically in the exact reverse order how we took it apart. So, air fittings right here.
Now those have gaskets on them as well, so.
Yeah, these have O-rings on them and stuff, so. Side note for all of you fine gentlemen out there. When your Fusion engine's apart, this is a really great opportunity to take apart your nozzle and poppet assembly, lube all of your O-rings. Always use paintball safe gun grease. We recommend using Tech T. This is what I use personally. It's what we carry at the shop.
It's also what Polarstar recommends.
It's what Polarstar recommends as well. It's very cheap, inexpensive. I like this stuff a lot. Use the thick stuff, the actual gun salve. Save the drops for like air rigs and stuff like that.
Yeah, external application.
External application. But this is a good opportunity to lube all your O-rings up inside and clean it all out, which you should be doing every about 50,000 rounds or so, so keep that in mind. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to flip it over. We're going to do the screw on the back side.
Just be cautious of all the wiring.
Be careful of your wiring, yes. All right. Then we're going to do, with the hex key or torque bit that you have, long screw goes in the back. Make sure your wire harness is down inside your wiring channel. All of your wires are square, good to go. Nothing's bent, broken, underneath something it shouldn't be. Everything's lined up. All right, we're good there. Reinstall your body plate. All right, so good to go. Now what I'm going to do is test it. FCU, battery. FCU reads it's good to go. Air, it's under pressure. You're going to listen for any leaks up where you mounted it. You're also going to listen for any air leaks on any of your other fittings or around your O-rings or anything like that. Make sure you didn't misinstall anything. Sounds good. Now you're going to actually shoot it to make sure that there's no blockages of air with any of those fittings moving up along here, because it's a little tight mounted in here with all of the air lines that are installed. That's why we did it on the Gen 2 instead of a Gen 3, because the Gen 3 is a little bit more forgiving Gen 2 is not. So if there was going to be a mistake, it was going to be with this one. So safe. All right. Good to go. Good to go. That's it. We don't want you anymore. Go away. All right. So that's all good to go. Let's unhook my battery. Unhook my FCU. Unhook my air. And then we're going to just remind you guys about the tools you're going to need. You're going to need a 5/32 Allen key. You're going to need the included wrench for your fitting. You're going to need a flathead, torque bit, or equivalent sized Allen key or anything like that for your Allen key bolts. And a Phillips screwdriver. I recommend using one of these removable key tools. The extra parts you're going to be left over with are going to be your macro line, which, obviously we don't care about anymore, and this fitting right here and its gasket. All right, guys, so now that the install is complete, everything's good to go. We function checked it, everything's good to go. So now this Fusion Engine is the proud owner of a Pepto Pink IGL. Biggs, do you want to mention any install tips or anything else for the external parts of your gun?
Yes, there's one other thing. You can install this without modifying your pistol grip if you thread it through the pistol grip first.
And then install it in your Fusion Engine.
Correct. But if you put it in after installing it in your Fusion Engine, this end of the line is too thick to fit through most pistol grip motor holes, the big hole in the center. So you need to widen that out some. Not much. I've done it with a hand file. I've even done it with a pocket knife in one gun, just because you just need to shave a little bit off that hole.
Recommend a Dremel if you got one too. Also makes the job a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to have to do that. But other than that, though, zero problemos from then on, forever and ever.
They will be available in all of our colors.
All of our colors, so.
Even some that aren't here.
And there's even some that aren't here. We got like some reds and some
oranges
and things like that. So it'll be.
We had requests for purple.
Yeah. Why don't we do purple?
I don't know.
Let's do purple.
Maybe in the future.
Maybe in the future. All right, guys. So for the Polarstar IGL, price-wise, we're looking at $28 for this guy. So I feel $28 well spent. It's going to relieve you of so many issues dealing with macro line and fittings and things getting cut and all that stuff. It's really just going to solve all your problems in one shot, and you'll be done.
If you're wondering why it's a little bit more than the Wolverine one, that's because this fitting did not exist until we got it made. It is custom made for this application.
It's property of Amped Airsoft. We got it made. That was us. So there you go. We do this for you guys. So this has been Pleb to Pro, as well as a product overview of the new Polarstar IGL install as well as a basic takedown of the Fusion. It was a pretty informative little video, I dare say.
I would definitely say so.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask them below down in the doobly-doo. If you have any suggestions for future Pleb to Pro videos or anything like that, or future products or anything like that, feel free to also talk about that down below in the doobly-doo. Mm-hmm. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Vine, hashtag everything. Love us because we love you. This has been Anthony.
And Biggs.
Thanks for stopping by, guys.
Have a good night.
See you later.